Alright, I've owned my Civic Si for a little over 3 months now, so I thought I'd give just some updates on the vehicle. I have almost 6,600 miles on it already. I was driving a 13 Volkswagen Golf last week, a few days for work, and put about 1,150 miles on it. And so once I got back into this car, it was very odd, and I almost felt like I didn't know how to drive it. The clutch was so much different, the gear change was a lot different, and the steering was a lot tighter. But once I got used to it, I remembered just why I love this car so much. So things that have changed since the last update video on this vehicle, not a whole lot. It's really dirty, even though I just ran it through the car wash yesterday. And as you can see, there's so much dust and crap on the wheels. I'll just run my finger along that. So it definitely needs a nice detailing whenever I get around to it. Anyway, first of all, I want to touch on the tires. There's the safety mark, and there's where the tread is. So I don't know if you can see that very well. No, you really can't. There we go. Here it is. So they're, they're, 6,500 mile tires, but they seem to be wearing kind of quickly. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, other things that have changed on the car. I put on this bumper sticker on Paul Revolution. And I also put in this Damo thing here in the windshield. And now I'm going to go to the biggest change of this car. Is I now have a Class 1 trailer hitch. I'm using it for my bike rack, which I actually used for the first time the other day. And it's actually pretty stable. We put 2 bikes on it, and it was kind of wobbly, but once we got on the highway and got up to speed, it was nice and stable. So definitely the hitch mounted rack is the way to go. I had the trunk mounted rack that I used a couple times on the Mazda, and I put it on here once, and it left a scratch. I touched it up with some paint, but you can still see where it's at. It left a scratch there, and I think there's a mark on the other side too. So I'm really happy with the hitch mounted rack. Obviously because it doesn't bump against the spoiler, but it's just a lot more stable, and I feel a lot more secure having that on there. So and really the hitch isn't as noticeable as I thought it would be. I thought it would stick out like a sore thumb, and it really doesn't. It's nice. I like the look of it. I did take it in for an oil change the other day. It had about 6,200, I think, when I got back from the dealership. So I was not expecting to take it in that soon. I thought it would go longer between oil changes, but the maintenance reminder system told me it was due, so I took it in. On the interior here, I added this little Despicable Me thing, and I want to show you something else I did on the inside. I don't know how noticeable it'll be during the daylight. I forgot I didn't have this in my last update video. So Honda has an accessory LED lighting kit that you can get for the footwells and whatnot, but I decided to make my own. It's not very bright, obviously, because it's daylight. It looks really good at night. Anyway, I just used strips of LED lights, and I still have to touch up some of the wiring and tuck some things back in, and these are starting to come down. I'm going to glue them on, but I also want to get a piece of plastic to go along here so that when you go and adjust the steering wheel, you don't tear the lights down with it. So there's one strip of lights here. I got my lighted switch here to turn them on, and then if we go to the other side, so we can see there's another strip of lights here, and once again I do need to super glue these on. The ends don't stay up very well, so I actually taped them and then just tucked the wires back a little bit more. And I've also got a strip of lights here, and I know it doesn't look very clean, but when you're sitting in the seat you really don't see the light module itself. And I've also got another strip of lights in the cup holders. Once again, it doesn't look very clean and tidy, but when you're sitting in the seat, you don't really notice it. So these actually need to be super glued in because the self-adhesive doesn't stick with the crap. So once I get everything finished up with it, it'll look a little bit better, but at night it just looks so good. One more thing is in the trunk here. I forgot how much junk I have in here. Anyway, there's this huge plastic shroud that came off the bottom of the car when they put the hitch on. So it basically prevents against rusting underneath, and I'm sure it helps a little bit with aerodynamics. So they weren't able to actually cut out the area for the hitch and put it back on. So I need to get some kind of spray sealant kind of stuff to put under there so that it doesn't rust and whatnot. So I think that's pretty much all that's changed on the car since the last video. I do want to look under the hood real quick here and just check over everything. I want to see how dirty it is actually. It's not bad, I guess. So when I got the oil change, I did have them use synthetic oil. It's 020. So I didn't get it done at the Honda dealership. There's a dealership I used to work for that I really like, and they always do a great job. So I went there, and then they're having a $15.95 oil change special. So I'm actually taking my girlfriend's Beetle in next week for an oil change because it's due. And we're going to be getting new tires for that car soon. So I was looking at tires the other day for it, and I think we're probably going to go with the General Ultimax. I know it's not a particularly expensive tire, but for the price you pay, it seems really good. The ratings are great for the price, so that's probably what we're going to go with. And so I think that's it for this video. As you can see, 65.79 on the mileage. I will show you the fuel economy real quick. Computer. So I did reset trip A not that long ago. I've got 91 miles on it. But as you can see the history here, I'm averaging about 26 to 27. It's not bad, and that's a pretty good mix of highway and city. I did reset this and I measured my highway fuel economy with the bike rack on and the two bikes, and at about 77 miles an hour I was only getting 23 miles per gallon. So usually on the highway it's between 30 and 32. Sometimes a little bit more if I'm not going so fast. Anyway, if there's anything else you guys want to see on this car, let me know. I'll be making some more videos of it. And I think that's it.